Oscar goes to. And the Oscar goes to.
The Oscar goes to.
And the Oscar goes to. And the Oscar goes.
Hello, you lovely people. It's me again. Yes, it's not that Oscar. Oscar Grits by government name. This is the podcast. Today we're doing the Oscar nomination predictions. We are just 3 days away from finding out who the nominations are for this year's Academy Awards. And I thought it'd be a little bit of a fun time to go through who I think might be nominated. There's certainly plenty of options, so we might as well figure that out together. We're going to do not all of the categories because there's a lot to go through. We will, of course, talk all of the categories when it comes to who I think will win, but for now, we're just doing who I think will be nominated. It's surprisingly difficult, so stick with me here. We're going to do Best Animated. We're going to do Best Casting, as that's the new category. We'll do Best Original Screenplay, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and Best Picture. I think that's like half of the categories. I do want to do international film, though. But shorts, live action... there's a few things I'm missing: sound, song, score, production design, makeup and hairstyling, editing, costume design, cinematography, and I think that's it. To be honest, I should probably throw in one more. I really do want to get international film in there. So maybe we'll do international film and drop... Oh, no, let's do international film as well. Why not? There you go. Anyway, should we get started? So in each of the categories, there are 5 nominations, except from Best Picture, which has 10. Now, I do think there should be some categories that have a few more nominations. Not that I'm really sure it will make a difference. But in case you don't know, in terms of voting, it's pretty easy to understand if you sort of simplify it. The Oscars do like to make things a little bit complicated here and there. But in terms of branch voting... So this means actors vote for the best actor, directors vote for the best directors, etc., etc. There is a huge board of voters at the Oscars. Not all watch every film that they should, and some have been quite open about that. There was a Variety article the other day where somebody said, "Oh, I will always vote for Guillermo del Toro no matter what." Well, thankfully, this time around, Frankenstein's quite good, but you shouldn't be voting for him just because you like him. And in previous years... anonymous voters have gone, "Oh no, I didn't even watch all of the nominations or whatever." So I'm like, how are you voting correctly? And then when it comes to Best Picture, all participants vote on Best Picture. So that's kind of the way that it works. I hope that makes sense. In terms of today, it's just going to be me telling you who I think will be nominated. So let's start with Best International Film, because I think this might be one of the strongest sort of years. There's also a chance that we have a couple making it into Best Picture noms. Now, historically, there's only ever been 2 international films voted in for Best Picture. But Best Picture will be the last element we look at, so strap in. Best International Film, a guaranteed nomination, is The Secret Agent. It's done phenomenally well on the global market. Sentimental Value, I do think, will get a nomination. It kind of got snubbed at... It was either Critics' Choice or Actors. It was one of those where it kind of got ignored. It Was Just an Accident won the Palme d'Or, so it's like guaranteed to get in. I would say those are your top 3. Then 4th place, you're looking at a few options here. So you've got Sirat, No Other Choice, The Voice of Hind Rajab, Left-Handed Girl, Sound of Falling... Palestine 36, beg my pardon. I've seen, out of the international films, I've seen Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, It Was Just an Accident, Sirat, No Other Choice, and that was it. But I'm very aware that Voice of Hind Rajab and Sound of Falling got a lot of love. However, they don't like voting for Park Chan-wook. You know, the Academy are pretty regular at ignoring his features. I do think No Other Choice is a much more consumer-friendly film, and it's brilliant. I saw it at London Film Festival. However, I think our top 5 nominations will be nominations for the best international film will be The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, It Was Just an Accident, Sirat, and The Voice of Hind Rajab. That is my predicted nominations. I'm going to say those regrouping again quite often because if I'm correct, I can clip it up and put it on social media and be like, hey, look, guys, look how amazing I am at what I do. So that's best international film. Let me just scroll back up and we'll do best animated feature next. Now, again, another really strong year for animations. Down the bottom, the ones I don't think will get in are the likes of Bad Guys 2. I don't think In Your Dreams will go in, although I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable on Netflix. Chainsaw Man had a lot of hype, and I've had a lot of people on my live streams recently. By the way, if you don't watch my live streams, I go live 5, maybe 6 times a week on TikTok. Monday to Friday, I go live between 5:30 and 7:30, usually starting at 5:30 and ending at 7:30. Sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit shorter. And then I try and go live Sunday lunchtime. So you get 5 to 6 streams from me a week. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, we've had some fantastic stuff. We had 4K total viewers the other day, 90 concurrent viewers, which is pretty big for me, to be honest. We've been debating various topics, so it's thoroughly enjoyable. The Chainsaw Man has been recommended to me a lot of times. Whether I'll get stuck into anime soon is to be decided. I do want to, though. I do really want to. Demon Slayer is another big one. But in terms of the top 5, I would love Little Amelie to get in there, or The Character of Rain. I saw it at London Film Festival. The producers and writers were there in person. They spoke so eloquently about it. It's a wonderful tale of this girl that ages from 0 to 3 and trying to understand what the world is and gaining consciousness. And at one point, she thinks she might be God. And it's really sweet French feature. And I highly recommend you seek it out. It's 77 minutes long. It's 12 frames per second, all hand drawn. You do the maths. They had like 150 artists doing it. It's a really beautiful piece of work. Again, I will do a follow-up to this once we have the nominations in about who I think will win versus who I want to win. That will come in a later episode of the podcast. But for now, this is just purely who I think will get nominated. Not necessarily who I think should get nominated. I do think Little Amelie will take the 5th spot. Elio will get in, I believe. K-pop Demon Hunters and Zootopia 2 are a guaranteed yes. Arco I haven't seen, and I've missed a lot of hype on Arco. I know from some other interactions that people are big fans of it. Whether Arco kind of gets quote-unquote snubbed for something like an anime could be interesting. But I think Arco gets in. So the 5 nominations for the best animated feature at the Oscars will be K-pop Demon Hunters, Arco, Elio, Little Amelie, and Zootopia 2. That's my prediction for that one. Best casting. Now, this is a new category, so we have no historic evidence to go off. We don't know how the Academy like to vote for this or how we can expect certain things to be done. Will it be an ensemble? Like, what's the best ensemble? Because then I'm thinking, well, One Battle After Another is pretty strong. Sean Penn, Teyana Taylor, Leo, Chase Infinity. Or are you looking something like Marty Supreme, where Timothée Chalamet was perfectly cast? I mean, a fantastic Marty Supreme. Or Sentimental Value, where you have a few international actresses that are brilliant. You have a leading starman in Skellen Skarsgård. It's interesting. Will international features even be considered? Because those actors might not be so well known. Wagner Moura in Secret Agent is a brilliant casting. So, in terms of the 5 nominations, you have the likes of Sirat in conversation. Again, international movie stars or up-and-coming stars. You might not know them. Frankenstein, of course, Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, some of the best individual casting. But is this going to be done on ensemble? This is where I think Wicked could sneak in. Because I I expect them to look at ensemble here for casting. Now, whether you like it or not, Wicked will get a couple of nominations. I think this is the first one where Wicked get in. I think 5th spot for casting will be Wicked. Then Marty Supreme for the sort of bang-on individual casting. I mean, Odessa Zion is fantastic. Kevin O'Leary's great. I mean, we know he's playing himself, but and then of course Timmy. So Marty Supreme gets in. Sinners and One Battle are a guaranteed. It's basically going to be a fight to the death between those two at the Oscars this year. So then your last spots. Do we think an international film gets in with sentimental value? Maybe Hamnet gets snubbed here. It's really quite difficult. But my predictions for the best casting nominations are One Battle After Another, Sinners, Marty Supreme, Wicked for Good, and Sentimental Value. That's my prediction. It's weird feeling Hamnet out because of how strong that is, but I think a film might require more than 2 good castings to be considered here. Again, we'll see. We'll see. Lots to learn from this one. Best original screenplay, Sinners is an obvious. It's a write-in. That I have no doubt about. Sorry Baby is getting a lot of love. Eva Victor, fantastic, but I think it really boosted from somebody shouted it out at a recent awards. It was I'm gonna have to check who this was. It's really annoying. Sorry. An actress gave it a shout out and it's really boosted it. Julia Roberts, I believe it was Julia Roberts, was basically like, guys, you need to get yourself onto Sorry Baby. And she has a lot of star status, that's going to certainly help. Blue Moon is an original screenplay. I haven't seen Blue Moon yet. It's my big miss. I need to get on it before the Oscars, but the Oscars are 16th of March, so I have a bit of time. Jay Kelly, do we think Netflix gets so many nominations? They have Frankenstein, they have Train Dreams, all of which might come up in later nomination lists. So, they have a lot of money behind them. Can they sort of campaign to get all 3 films in? I don't know. I think Best Original Screenplay will go to Sinners, Sentimental Value. Marty Supreme probably has to get in there as well. Do we think international get done in here? I don't know. I think this is where Weapons gets its first sneak in. Now, Weapons is a divided film. I love Zach Creggan. I love the movie. It made my top 10 of the year, 2025. I think for original screenplay, Weapons gets in here. Because I don't see where else it might get in. And whilst it's like, just because it's not getting nominated for other categories doesn't mean it's going to get in. No, but there's a kind of historic sort of, let's throw them a bone, that they're not going to win anything. It caused a lot of discussion. Amy Madigan might get a mention, which we'll talk about later. So, Sinners, Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, Weapons, and I think it was just an accident, sneaks past Secret Agent, purely because of the Palme d'Or win. I think the Palme d'Or is going to really help nudge this along from Cannes Film Festival. I actually was watching It Was Just an Accident as the winner of the Palme d'Or was announced. And I was about 10 minutes in and everyone was sneakily looking at their phone, which you're not allowed to do at Cannes. You're not allowed to look at your phone. And then there was a murmuring around the theatre where everyone was going, oh my God, it just won Palme d'Or. And there was a lot of pressure to enjoy it. I actually gave it a 3-star first time I saw it. And then I rewatched it about a month ago. It might be a near perfect film. It has one of the greatest endings in recent years to a film, and I highly suggest you seek it out. Jafar Panahi went through such turmoil to get that movie made. Look it up if you don't know. It's fantastic. So my nomination predictions for the best original screenplay are Sinners, Sentimental Value, Martyr Supreme, It Was Just an Accident, and Weapons taking the 5th spot. I know, crazy, but there we go. Adapted screenplay, so this is something where the rights have been bought off someone else, whether it was a book, a game, some sort of adaptation, right? One Battle is an obvious one. It's based on a book. That's in. Hamlet's in, 100%. Of course, Big Willie Shake is... Big Willie Shake. Willie Shakes is getting his own nomination there. You then... Here are your other options, okay? So, One Battle and Hamlet are in. Bugonia, Train Dreams, Frankenstein, No Other Choice, Wake Up Dead Man, Wicked for Good, Nouvelle Vague. I would love for things like Nuremberg, Long Walk, Die My Love to get thrown in, but it's just not going to be possible. You know, Life of Chuck, I'm pretty sure Stephen King has at least 2 in there. Adaptation-wise, yeah, this is hard. I think this is maybe where Netflix campaigned for Train Dreams. It's so beautiful, such a beautiful tale. Joel Edgerton is doing some of his best work in it, and in terms of cinematography-wise, it's one of the most beautiful features you will watch from 2025 at minimum, if not, pushing further back. But it's on Netflix, and I do highly suggest you seek it out. It is one of their better films they've put out. So I think Train Dreams gets in here. I think the general snub, quote-unquote snub, of the Oscars this year will be Bugonia. I think Yorgos is been too successful in recent years, and you shouldn't say, oh, just because he's won lots with Poor Things and he's had other nominations that Bugonia gets forgotten about. But, it's possible. The Academy are an interesting bunch. So I think Frankenstein gets in here as well. Another Netflix film. Wow, two in the top 5. I don't think we get an international on this one, which is sad. Nouvelle Vague's brilliant, by the way, based on Breathless, which if you're watching, you can either watch on Spotify or YouTube. But if you're listening, I am pointing at my Breathless 4K physical that I have just there. It's a film. Nouvelle Vague is how Jean-Luc Godard went about making Breathless. So it's about how a film got made, but it's brilliant. And sadly, it won't be anywhere near the conversation for this, I don't think. But my predictions for Best Adapted Screenplay nominations are One Battle After Another, Hamlet, Train Dreams, Frankenstein. I don't think Netflix gets 3 for 3 with Wake Up Dead Man. I'd love No Other Choice to get in there. But maybe Bugonia picks up the 5th spot. I'll go Bugonia. One Battle After Another, Hamlet, Bugonia, Train Dreams, Frankenstein. I want to go bold on some of these. It's either go big, go home. Because if I get it right, I can clip this up and be like, hell yeah, look at me go. If I get it wrong by a long way, which there's something I'm going to be saying later, which people are going to think is crazy, I will look like an idiot. Best Supporting Actor. This is busy this year. You have the likes of least likely to get in, Josh O'Connor, Andrew Scott, Jack O'Connell for Sinners, Miles Caton for Sinners, Delroy Lindo for Sinners. I would love Delroy to get in. Not sure it will happen. Oh, man, the list is long this year. There's so many great actors. But I think Adam Sandler gets in. I think the Academy quite like him. We know what Uncut Gems did. He's very good at bringing a dramatic performance for someone that's, historically a funny man. Adam Sandler gets the 5th spot. I think Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, I think he'll get in. Does One Battle get 2 nominations with Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro, or does one of them get snubbed? I think they both get in. So we have Stellan, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Adam Sandler, And then I think Paul Mescal gets snubbed. I think Jacob Elordi gets in. So yeah, I guess Adam Sandler and Jacob Elordi are the sort of surprising nominations, but I would love Miles Caton to get in. I just think he's too young for the Academy to throw him in there. So my predictions for the Best Supporting Actor nominations are Stellan Skarsgård, Adam Sandler, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, and Jacob Elordi. There you go. That's my predictions. Best Supporting Actress. Again, another fantastic year. Love Regina Hall to get in. I just don't think she had the screen time for her to be nominated. Elle Fanning from Sentimental Value. She's brilliant. Odessa Zion, Marty Supreme. Ariana Grande is in the conversation. Wunmi Masaku for Sinners. Inga Ibs daughter. Lilius. I always get her name so wrong, but Inga. I'll just go with Inga. Now, I'm hearing Amy Madigan is a certainty here, which I've got to be honest is crazy. She's brilliant in Weapons. But all of the names I've mentioned, apart from Ariana Grande, may be over here. Teyana Taylor's a guaranteed. I think Odessa Zion gets in. I think Inga and Elle Fanning get in for Sentimental Value. So I'm then stuck between Wunmi Masaku, Ariana Grande, and Amy Madigan. Wow, tough selection. You know, at some point, a big feature has to get in at some point, right? My predictions for Best Supporting Actress nominations are as follows. Teyana Taylor, Odessa Zion. My nomination predictions for Best Supporting Actress are Teyana Taylor, Odessa Zion. Oh, I don't know. This is genuinely so difficult. I wish I had someone in person here to negotiate with. Teyana Taylor, Odessa Zion, Elle Fanning, Inga, and then is it Wunmi Masaku, Ariana Grande, or Amy Madigan? Oh man, I think voters enjoyed Weapons. Are we really having 3 horror movies in contention this year for nominations with Weapons, Sinners, and I guess Frankenstein's more of like a drama thriller, right? But it's kind of horrifying in its own way. It's a gothic horror. I'm really struggling. This actually might be the hardest one because Best Supporting Actress is so strong this year. Okay, here we go. Let me lock it in. My predictions for the best nominations. My prediction for the nominations of Best Supporting Actress. Wow. I genuinely... Are you guys fed up at home and just saying Oscar pick something? Okay. My predictions for nominations for Best Supporting Actress are as follows. Teyana Taylor. Inga Lilius. Odessa Zion. Elle Fanning. And Amy Madigan. That's what I've gone for. I've locked it in. 4 more categories to go. Best Actor. Again, a lot of options. Do you look at biopic sort of looks? Jeremy Allen White. Do you look at Oscar Isaac, a big name, big film, big streaming company? Lee Byung-hun for an international feature with no other choice. Does Dwayne Johnson get the nomination he's been searching for? What about Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams? A lovely piece of slow cinema that many have called boring because they're morons. I'm hearing Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon is fantastic. I've not seen Blue Moon. But this is based off what I think the Academy will have nominated. Leo is Best Actor, nomination secured. Timothée Chalamet, nomination secured. I think Wagner Moura is the international feature here that gets nominated. I think he's in. Then you're looking at Michael B. Jordan, Ethan Hawke, Jesse Plemons, Joel Edgerton, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Lee Byung-hun, and then Oscar Isaac and Jeremy Allen White. It's a long list, again, of people that are in contention for nominations. So we're looking for 4th and 5th spot. I think Michael B. Jordan gets a nomination because he's playing 2 characters fantastically well, and it's very obvious in who's who. Which is a tough thing to do. Based off what I'm hearing, I'm going to go with Ethan Hawke. So my predictions for Best Actor nominations are as follows. Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Timothée Chalamet for Might Supreme, Wagner Moura for Secret Agent, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, and Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. There you go. Locked in. Best Actress. Again, a phenomenal year. Eva Victor and Sorry Baby had a big push recently. Has it been forgotten? Potentially. Amanda Seyfried is apparently very good in Testament and Lee. One of the films I'm yet to get around to seeing. Does Cynthia get a push for Best Actress? Chase Infinity could. I still think she's on the young side. You know, look, if you're saying Miles Caton's not getting in, should Chase Infinity really be getting in? I think guaranteed is Renate Reinsve for Sentimental Value, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. Emma Stone will get a nomination for Bargonia, I think. I'm predicting it's been a push of recent times that Kate Hudson gets in for sort of like a legacy nomination as well. You know, these actresses that have been, actors, actresses, whoever, that have been around a long time and have kind of never really, in recent years, had that recognition. There's often, we'll give them a nomination for the sake of it. So my prediction for Best Actress nominations are as follows. Rose Byrne, Jessie Buckley, Kate Hudson, Renate Reinsve, and Emma Stone. Sorry, Chase Infinity. I just think you're too young for the Oscars. We have 2 categories left. Best Director and Best Picture. I will try and get through Best Director quickly because Best Picture, we have 10 potential options here. Best Director. Paul Thomas Anderson will get in. I think Joachim Trier will get in for Sentimental Value. Ryan Coogler will get in for Sinners. Chloe Zhao will get in for Hamnet. That 5th spot is the hardest one of all. Jafar Panahi, Josh Safdie, Guillermo del Toro, Yorgos Lanthimos, John Chu is in the conversation. Whether you liked Wicked for Good or, like me, you thought it was pretty drab. I would love Jafar to be in. I would love him to be in. I think based on how we know the voters are and the recent Variety article where an anonymous voter said, a couple of us vote for Guillermo del Toro. He's loved by the Academy. I think he gets in. Crazy there's only one woman there. But the way it is. My prediction for Best Director nominations are as follows. Chloe Zhao, Ryan Coogler, Paul Thomas Anderson, Joachim Trier, and Guillermo del Toro. I think Jafar Panahi and or Josh Safdie should be in there, but I think it will be Guillermo del Toro. Just based off that Variety article. Best Picture. Now we have 10 nominations for this. Let me give you the top 20 in terms of who are in conversation. Wake Up Dead Man, Sorry Baby, Jay Kelly, Sirat, Blue Moon, No Other Choice, Avatar Fire and Ash, F1, Weapons, Wicked for Good, Bugonia, Train Dreams, It Was Just an Accident, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Hamnet, Martyr Supreme, and Sinners. This is tough. Let's go for the obvious ones. Your top 5, easy. Sinners, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Secret Agent. Those are your 5 in. 6, 7, 8. Frankenstein. It Was Just an Accident. And Bugonia. So I have 8 nominations so far. Sinners, Mighty Supreme, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Secret Agent, Bugonia, and Frankenstein. We can still have on the list It Was Just an Accident, Train Dreams, Wicked for Good, Weapons, F1, Avatar Fire and Ash, No Other Choice, Blue Moon, Sirat, J. Kelly, Sorry Baby, Wake Up Dead Man. There's plenty others that I think could be in there, or I think should be in there, that won't be. Now, you've got to hear me out for the 9th and 10th spot, okay? There's one studio that doesn't really have any nominations for anything else, apart from maybe Best Sound. They have a lot of money. They have one film this year. They will be making a push to at least get nominated. They know they probably won't win. But I think F1 will make it into the nomination list of Best Actor, Best Picture. Best Actor. I think F1 makes it in. Avatar Fire and Ash will win some other categories, maybe. Weapons. I think Amy Madigan gets the nomination for Weapons with Best Supporting Actress. Wicked for Good, it has the star power. Could get in there. I think as much as I want Train Dreams in for Best Picture, does it get snubbed? Here's my predictions for nominations for the Oscars Best Picture is as follows. Sinners, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Sentimental Value, It Was Just an Accident, Secret Agent. Wow, I'm going for 3 international features. This will be the first time ever, by the way. Bugonia, and the surprise nomination, F1. I think it'll get in. It's just that Apple are putting so much money into campaigning to get this scene. They did some really cool sort of promotions for it. It's got Brad Pitt, Damson Idris. It's nominated. It's going to be nominated in some other categories. Best Sound. People loved that movie. They loved that movie. I think it was more widely received than Wicked for Good. I want Train Dreams in there, though. Oh. See, do I think that we're going to get 3 international features? Does Sentimental Value? Look, It Was Just an Accident gets in. It won the Palme d'Or. There's no way a Palme d'Or winner doesn't get a nomination for Best Picture. People love Secret Agent. I've seen it once. I saw it at Cannes. I thought it was fine. I need to rewatch it. Sentimental Value. I've seen once. I saw it at Cannes. I thought it was good. I thought it was very good. It Was Just an Accident. It's phenomenal. 3 international features being nominated would be a first. Is now the year that the Academy changes? I don't know. Historically speaking, it's unlikely. Let me redo my list. My predictions for the Best Picture nominations at the Oscars this year are finalised as follows: Sinners, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, It Was Just an Accident, Secret Agent, that's 7, right? F1, I think F1 gets in. Oh, does Train Dreams, Begonia. There you go. I've said it. Oh my god. There's no way Wicked for Good doesn't get in, but I've said it without. So, in case it was unclear, Sinners, Marty Supreme, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Train Dreams, Begonia, and F1. So, Sentimental Value being snubbed, Wicked for Good, quote unquote, being snubbed, Weapons, Avatar, No Other Choice, Blue Moon. Wow. Oh, God. I feel sick. I actually feel unwell predicting that. I think I have a better chance of being correct in terms of who will win all of these categories. A video / podcast that I will do in the future. But for now, that's who I think will be nominated. I want to be correct on them because it'll show like, well, hey, I'm tapped in. But I want to be wrong on Best Picture. I would love them to do 3 international nominations. I think it should be 4. I would like No Other Choice in there as well. Is it the first time that we do get that? Or maybe we get no international nominations. You know, the Academy are strange. Does Dwayne Johnson get in for actor? There's so many possibilities. You will have to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hitting that follow button for more, subscribing, rate the show if you're listening on Spotify, follow me on TikTok. We're going to do a live stream this week talking about nominations. They come out on Thursday. I'll do a video about it. Oh, I feel unwell. Right. I'll see you soon.